Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play of Hiveswap Friendsim. Last time we met Nike Moolah, an indigo wrestler who, in the good ending, basically became our personal trainer and helped us get buff. But in the bad ending, some crazy stuff with the timelines happened, and I honestly can't explain it, so just go watch the previous video if you haven't already. Anyway, we're very close to the end now. I think we've got our last two trolls now. Let's see. Volume 18 of Endings Mini. Alright, these are some attractive people here. Oh yeah, I think I know the Jade Blood. Yeah. You crash landed onto a planet called Arternia. You staggered from the wreckage of your ship. You are desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly a bit of medical attention. But most of all, you are desperate for friendship. Is what you could say if you were written by a bunch of hacks who cared about the Aristotelian idea of narrative unity. Possibly you could make some reference to a circle being complete in a thoughtless and imbecilic manner. But we're all in this together, right? And we've all learned and grown enough to know that there's something deep and dark and absurd brewing beneath the surface. This really isn't about friendship anymore, is it? You've got enough friends, now you need answers, you need... Oh, god damn it. This was just the intro screen. Yes, okay. I am aware of this person. I know that this is a transgender guy, which is cool. Lanque Bombyx. That's how I'm going to pronounce his name. What's next on the docket? Oh, you're really feeling like going completely off the rails. So it's a good thing the first person to ping you on your palm husk is Lanque. That nutty bitch is exactly the sort of destabilizing influence your life needs right now. Hello. My friend? Because that's what we are now. Friends! Cool, that's not a weird at all way to talk to someone. You're really loving this one. You're not sure what it is, but you're positive whatever crackpot caper this loopy troll is about to rope you into is going to be a real humdinger. There's a sense of finality in the air. You can taste it. Lanque does you the courtesy of listening to you but say all that shit without getting super put off by how much of a freak you are. Listen up. So I was thinking, since us becoming friends has worked out so well, I'm starting to think maybe it'd be a good idea to give making more friends another shot after all, I guess. That's what I was thinking, so there's this party I was invited to. You see, the fellow Jades in my cloister always sneak out to go to these things. You gently suggest to Lanque that she should hurry it the fuck up. Okay, so I'm nervous to go and I wanted a friend to come with me, okay? Is that so crazy? No, you don't think that's crazy at all. You think that sounds fantastic, actually. You don't ask for any details because who gives a shit? You show up on the block. We're not going to talk about how you got there or whatever because what a waste of time. You're just there. Lanque's met up with you too. Lanque mentioned there might be dancing, so you decided to really dress up for the occasion. Oh man, you went fucking nuts. You're wearing a cape and shit, but also like fishnets, maybe a sexy bra if that's your thing. Whatever you happen to dredge out some dumpster or another. Also, you can imagine whatever you want here, but no, it's complete bullshit and you look like a total slut. Lanque isn't wearing anything special because we would have had to pay someone to redraw all her sprites. From the looks of it, you're headed over to somebody's hive party. You're rolling up on some kind of joint that, from past experience, you can now surmise is an alien domicile. It's pretty big and maybe belongs to someone on the blue end of the spectrum. Back here again, is this block just where all the Jade Blood schoolgirls love to get down and dirty? It hits you like a bucket of ice when you realize whose hive you're walking towards this time. This is Ardada's hive. Oh, that's just great. Your friend Ardada. Boy, do you love Ardada. Can't wait to see her again. As you approach, you can immediately tell what kind of deal they have going on here. You can hear the tunes bumping from all the way down the block, and when you get near enough to see, there are obviously a bunch of teens passed out drunk on the lawn. This is a full-blown frat house rager. Definitely doesn't seem like Lanque's sort of scene. That's because it isn't! Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this. You kind of can't either. You're not even in the front door and you can already feel the sweat pouring out of your armpits. This is going to be so much fun. You pass all the smashed lawn teens and go up to knock on the front door. You have to rap on a few times until the telltale sound of clicking heels faintly reaches your ears. Hi, Ardada. The door opens and you discover that the gracious hostess standing on the other side is none other than your best friend Ardada. Woohoo! She looks surprised to see you for only a moment before her face resolves into a wicked grin. Ah, ha ha ha. My. Look what the perbies dragged in. Back for more so soon, my sweet. You're not actually sure how much time has passed since you last ran into Ardada, but it doesn't feel like it can be described in any metric by soon. You've been physically savaged so many times since then, you're not sure what you're blocking out though. You tell Ardada you're really glad to see her, because you totally are. You tell her you weren't expecting her to be hosting a party though. Oh, I don't know if I'd call it a party. More of a friendly kickback of sorts. Sort of exclusive, really. All the world's finest influencers are here. How exactly did you hear about my little shindig? While I certainly consider you to be one of my finest friends, I don't recall inviting you. You gesture vaguely to Lanera. She doesn't seem to know how to lie and immediately cracks under the pressure. One of the other Jades from my cloister told me to come. His name is Lanque, but I don't think he was invited either. I get the impression we kind of always come out here. Basically, we're crashing, if that's okay? Well, of course. What's an informal soiree without a few entirely uninvited interlopers? Lanera doesn't seem to know if she's being sarcastic or not. You aren't sure if she is either, to be honest. You're like, are you fucking with us? And she's like, ho ho ho, muhahaha, or whatever. Of course not. I just have but one question for you, my dears. Hi, you're getting too close. Ardana beckons you near. You obey her slavishly, and she leans in close to your ears and intones. Do you hereby certify under penalty of law that you are of age to view adult content within your legal residence? Have you acknowledged the contents of this volume's accompanying mature content description and are comfortable with the prospect of engaging with challenging or otherwise controversial fictional material? You bet, Chief. Tell her to let you in. Ha ha ha. That's good to hear. Why don't you come right in then, my dear? I don't want to see you making any little posts online about how my party was too fucking problematic for you, though. Ardana steps back and welcomes you again into her abode with a grandiose gesture. You're very, very excited for Ardana's party and know definitively that you will absolutely enjoy every second of what she has in store for you. Once you've stepped in past the threshold, Ardana blows you a toxic kiss and saunters off to mingle with her enthusiastic guests. Wow, looks like we got everybody from all over the hemo spectrum here. Nice. Oh, what about this poor person down here? Are they okay? Is their friend okay? The first thing that hits you once you're in the door is the music. It's a solid wall of bass that reverberates through your body down to your bones. Oh hey, is that Diamond? Hi. He's just chilling there in the background. I was just looking to see if there's anybody else I recognize. I don't think so. I think that's just about it. Also, is this that one troll that was juggling the hot dogs at the BeastCon or whatever? I ship them now, these two. The intense dance track is blasting so loud you can hardly hear yourself think. It has to be this loud to drown out all the shouting coming from the living room. As you apprehensively advance, it becomes quickly clear that Lanera is completely out of her element here. She's a bundle of nerves beside you, practically glued to your hip. When you actually step into the living room, she physically attaches herself to your arm. Wow, this is more than I was expecting. You too. It's a scene of absolute chaos. The living room of the house is filled to the brim with rowdy teens, dancing rhythmlessly to the pounding music. The furniture has all been knocked over or otherwise destroyed, and you can make a pretty good guess of what's filling all the red cups you see in everyone's hands. You're about to tell Lanera you wouldn't blame her if she wants to dip, but you can't get the words out before you're being flagged down by a J-Blood boy who's just muscled his way out of the throng of partygoers with a few of his friends in tow. What voice am I gonna give him? I don't even know. He's quite attractive. Lanera, you made it. Lanera all but flings herself away from your body and freezes like a scared animal as the troll approaches. For all the commotion and ruckus, he's still remarkably well put together. The vigorous dance huddle doesn't seem to have disturbed his sharp makeup or his impeccably coiffed hair. There's a curious red stain down the front of his white shirt, though. Okay, I was going to say he looks like a vampire, but as a joke. But I'm pretty sure he might actually be a rainbow drinker, so... He has a slutty-looking indigo blood girl on his right arm and even sluttier looking teal blood boy on his left, though he shakes them off and waves them away by the time he reaches you and Lanera at the entryway to the room. Hi, Lanque. Yeah, I'm here. Wow, okay, he's very, very flirty. You watch with amusement as Lanera practically bursts into flame under his gaze, and it only gets worse when he sidles up to her to give her a startlingly intimate embrace. She squeaks and tries to hug him back, but is too timid to actually touch him with her hands. You can see sweat pouring down her face. After a solid 5 seconds that seems to include Lanque smelling Lanera's hair, he pulls back to smile at Lanera with a heavy gaze. Lanera's face is bright green and her eyes are bugging out of her skull from how flustered she is. But she's not into it, you don't think? It's hard to tell, but you kind of get the impression that he'd be dead by now if she weren't. Either way, it's awkward. Lucky for Lanera, Lanque either doesn't notice or doesn't care. He settles into a comfortable for him posture with his arm casually around Lanera's waist and turns to you. Oh, who's this? This is my... friend? Yeah! Lanque quirks an eyebrow. You have friends? The question seems to leave Lanque speechless, so Lanque takes the opportunity to look back at you. His eyes rake up and down your body in a way that leaves you feeling distinctly objectified. Ah, I see. Oh, aren't you interesting? Is there a reason you look like... that? What a question. He doesn't explain what that is specifically referring to, and given both your alien status and your state of dress, it could mean any number of things. You might take it as an insult if not for the way he licks his lips after he says it. He can't seem to pry his eyes off you. You look at Lanque for a cue, but she's too out of it to give you any sort of intelligible sign. So you just explained how you crash-landed on this alien planet an indeterminate amount of time ago, and you don't really know what you're doing or much of anything about anything. The fact of your appearance could be due to either this, or that you're generally a disaster of being irrespective of your planetary origin. How fascinating. I've never met an alien before. Well, you have. Lots of times. In fact, literally everyone and everything here is alien to you. You find your word diarrhea becoming more and more awkward and embarrassing as Lanque's eyes start burning a hole in the center of your chest. Haha. There's no reason to be so shy. I don't bite until asked. He's definitely a rainbow drinker. I mean, look at those fangs. Seriously. Lanque disconnects himself from Lanque as he rounds on you. It's like he's lost any interest in her existence, not you in front of him. Lanque looks at you with a completely pathetic expression that readily informs you as to what your response needs to be. You'll be damned if you aren't going to be the best wingman possible, so you definitely ignore Lanque's blatant pass and turn the conversation back to Lanque. You ask Lanque how long he and Lanque have known each other. Lanque raises his eyebrows at the question. Well, I suppose that she was chosen for the cloister? Some number of sweeps ago. I don't remember, really. It was 2.34 sweeps. Sorry, 2.43, I got that reversed. Oh, right, then that many, I guess. Huh, that's a pretty long time, actually. Yeah. Pretty impressive that you managed to go a solid 2.4 of them without saying a single word to me that wasn't circulated to me secondhand from your snide gossiping behind my back. Wow. Talk about whiplash. Lanque's eyes get big like saucers. What? 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 What are you? I don't know what you're talking about. The tone of the conversation has totally morphed from fire to ice in an instant, though neither Lanque's expression nor demeanor have changed much. He slips in the knives with all the calm composure of casual statement. What, are you going to pretend you didn't spend the better part of the last 2.5 sweeps complaining about how much I disgusted you? Come now. You do know what everyone is aware you're a nasty little bitch, right, Lanque? I mean, don't take it the wrong way, I really don't mind. I'm hardly in a position to criticize. I was just curious what caused the sudden change of heart after so long decrying my vain and slatternly lifestyle. Have the impending ordeals finally made the little clock start to tick down that dry, dusty nook of yours? Wow, that's pretty rude. Did you figure I was the only one who might be loose enough to be willing to clean out the cobwebs before you get shipped off to Space Church and never have the chance again? Just wondering. Yeah, he's not a very nice guy. There's a long, excruciating moment where Lanque says nothing. She just stares up at Lanque beside her with a completely shell-shocked expression. But before he could try to pipe up in Lanque's defense, she bursts into tears. Oh no. When Lanque suddenly turns and makes a mad dash to run out the door and away from the party, you're torn between running after her and giving this jerk a real piece of your mind. Your mind's made up when you look back at Lanque just in time to catch him rolling his eyes. Hey, you say, that was kind of rude, don't you think? Lanque snorts. Me? Rude? Ha 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 ha. Are you perhaps attempting to fuck with me? Clearly you haven't spent much time around this bitter pill if you think that was anything short of precisely what she deserves. You can see that maybe you don't have a full enough grasp on Jade Blood Cloister's social dynamics to make a definitive judgment on whether or not Lanque deserved to have been so ruinously owned. But she's your friend, and what good are you if you don't stick up for the people you care about? I have no idea what even got her so upset. Like I said, it's not like I really care what she says about me. But you don't get to spend as much time as she does being a venomous little snake and act surprised when someone calls you out on it. Then why'd you invite her, you ask? It seems needlessly cruel of Lanque to lead her on under false pretenses if he never intended to be her friend at all. I promise you I had no such designs. The only reason I even invited her to this is that my ex is being a real blood-sucking bitch and no one else wanted to go. I was willing to give her an honest shot, but I have no time for a vicious, slandering nag who can't even admit what she is. I thought it might be interesting to see what that crusty little shrew might be like if you could manage to wrest her bulge free of whatever excruciating knot she's got tied into, but I guess now we'll never know. Well, this is clearly a conversation you're going to have to Switzerland out of pretty soon. What? You try to explain the historical significance of Switzerland's political neutrality on your home planet. Lanque's eyes glaze over like he's listening to you recite a sports almanac of cricket stats. That's nice. Anyway, since I seem to have scared away my date, why don't you stay a while so you and I can get to know each other a little better? You seem much more interesting than she is, anyway. Oh, hello. Damn it, he's a jerk, but he's still attractive. Ugh, that's the worst. When did Lanque get up so close to you? Your heart beats a little faster when he smiles at you like that, so poisonous and shamelessly laced with intent. Lanque is definitely not the only one coming off like a snake here. I've less time to waste than most, my dear. Never seen the value in beating around the bush. Well, maybe it'd be socially prudent for you to go after Lanque and make sure she's okay. But it's also not her volume of the Friendsim, so instead of doing that, you're going to stick around and see what this particularly breary prima donna is all about. You had your fucking chance to bail out of this shit show, but all that's left is to do now is barrel downhill as meteorically as you can manage. Fantastic. Care to dance? Why the fuck not? Lanque laughs pleasantly and reaches out to take you by the hand. The contact gives you a little thrill despite yourself. He's got nice hands, soft and warm and well taken care of. And you know it's going to be one hell of a ride, wherever he's taking you. Come with me. Alright, there's some more trolls here. I wish you'd get out of the way for a minute, Lanque. I was trying to look at the background. You do. He doesn't lead you straight to the dance floor, though. He takes you around the throng of dancing partygoers over to the kitchen of the house first. You were expecting to find a familiar face waiting for you there. Who is it? Oh, it's Elward! Heh, fancy meeting you here. You don't find it that surprising, honestly. You two know each other? You could say that. That's just great. Do you give discounts to friends? I sure fucking don't. You know the price, pretty boy. Pay up. You're a little confused. What is being purchased here exactly? Elward gives you a funny look. You a drone? Oh, are we doing drugs? What? Hush. You do as you're told and watch as Lanque and Elward carry out their shady transaction. Lanque hands over the credits and receives an opaque little baggie of something in return. Oh well, you guess you don't really need to see what it is to figure out what's in the thing to figure out what it is at this point. As soon as the deal is done, Lanque has his hand at the small of your back and is definitely guiding you away from the scene of the crime. Is buying drugs a crime here? I honestly don't know. You aren't really well versed about the laws of Alternia, but honestly doesn't really seem like anyone would give too much of a shit about anyone doing drugs out here. You guess the clandestine transactions are just for the aesthetic. Lanque's got you back in the shady corner of a party and is pressing one of the tablets he bought into your hand with a sly grin. He expects you to join in. You're like, hold on a minute. Your experiences with alien drugs haven't really been that great, honestly, and you're not sure you're that excited for a repeat performance. Lanque's immediate response is to sneer. Oh, I see. You're one of those people. One of what people? You know. A bit boring, maybe? There are many words that could be used to describe you, but you don't think boring is a remote contender. You're always doing all kinds of unbelievably stupid shit and getting into uncountable, wacky, and life-threatening situations. Is it really that fucking much to ask for there to be one time you don't rush headfirst into doing something you know is going to fuck you up and be totally awful? Lanque's lips press into a thin, annoyed line. These things aren't cheap, you know. I bought them for you. Well, you didn't ask him to do that, did you? Oh, come on. You really going to be like this? Yeah, you totally are. Lanque sighs dramatically. Fine. Oh, hi, Diamond. Lanque casts around for the nearest victim and grabs his attention with a hand around his wrist. To your dismay, it's your sweet, innocent hot dog chum, Diamond. Alas, there's nothing you can do to stop him falling prey to Lanque's wicked designs. Here, have these. Oh yeah, great. Thanks, I love to put drugs on my wiener. Wow, that's a sentence I just said out loud. Okay. What a tragedy. But before you know it, Lanque has a hold of you again and is dragging you off. Let's just dance. You're not too much of a square to do that, are you? Of course not. Dancing is basically the one thing you actually plan to come here and do, so that's just great. You go along with Lanque enthusiastically when he pulls you over to the writhing mass of bodies bumping and grinding on the dance floor. Oh hi, that's a nice sprite. You get down to it. You soon discover that Lanque has a very interesting dancing style. And by interesting, you mean it primarily consists of just directly grinding his body against yours in incredibly shameless fashion. But pressed in as you are from all sides by sweaty and inebriated bodies, there's not exactly much room for troll jiggers to begin with. Lanque is up on you so close it's hard not to sweat. He has his hands at your hips, and your face fixed with sharp eyes. His heavy stare is nearly hypnotic, so blatant and undisguised in his expression. It's clear what he wants, and maybe that's more than you're prepared to give, but when he looks at you like that, it's impossible to look away. You just go with it. Why not? It feels good, and it's not like anyone else is watching. You're surrounded by trolls, boxed in and pouring sweat, and yet it feels like you're the only two people in there. Lanque draws in, teeth by your ear, and this close you can hear him easily, even over the overwhelming pound of the bass. You have the palest skin I've ever seen. Yeah, you tell him you're literally FFFFFF white, which is like blank. That makes you super racially inoffensive, FYI. Yep. A-racial characters. You let Lanque know he can see you any way he wants, which is even more woke than making a decision. Thin as paper. Yep, he's definitely a rainbow drinker. I can see all the way inside of you. All your veins and your red blood. You smell like candy. I wonder how you'd taste. Wow, you say. That's like some shit a vampire would say. Presuming I'm a rainbow drinker would be an awfully reductive and literal reading of my character. Well, I mean, I think you are. I'm just making a blatant sexual pass. Oh, okay. Good thing that's all cleared up. You take this as an opportunity to really let loose, showing off everything you've got in the sexy dance acumen department. Lanque is a little bewildered. What are you doing? You're like, what aren't I doing? There's a fire on the dance floor and you struck the match. You're just fucking it up in here. Really getting it. Breaking it down, bopping and crumping and whatever. You're smashing your ass into everyone around you and getting hot and heavy with these lusty moves. We're freaking him out. There's a point where Lanque has to step back, you presume, to properly behold your art in all its glory. But soon it becomes clear that it's not your prodigious dancing skills that have given him pause. You follow his startled gaze and see the cause for alarm. Branya's here, and she looks pissed. Oh shit. Branya's still standing in the entryway contending with our data, and it looks like she hasn't caught sight of you yet. But Lanque isn't wasting any time. Before you realize what's happening, Lanque has you by the wrist and is hauling you away from the dance floor and off down the hallway. Lanque finds safety in a bedroom. Respite block, you remind yourself, when you take stock of the conspicuous absence of a bed and the presence of the revolting-looking slime cocoon in which trolls allegedly spend their repose. You hold each other in a tense and nervous silence pressed against the locked door. What feels like an eternity passes, your breath held. The sound of your blood rushing through your ears is almost enough to drown out the music. Seconds turn to minutes and nobody comes to find you. It seems for now you've escaped Branya's notice. When you turn your head to look back at Lanque, you find he's been staring at you for some time. I haven't been able to take my eyes off you since the moment I first saw you. You're just so interesting. You freeze like a hare staring down a snake. Lanque lifts his hand to brush a thumb across your cheek, fingers curling under your chin. You meet his eyes. His pupils are so black. I want to know what it would be like to kiss you. Lanque's tongue darks out to wet his painted lips. Do you want to kiss me? Whoa. Well, you've already clicked on at least 2 mature content disclaimers to get this far. Why the hell not? Oh wow, we're actually kissing. Okay. I'm fine with this. Lanque leans in and presses his lips against yours. He kisses much more sweetly than he looks. His lips are soft and wet and taste like blackberries. This beats making out with a couple of greasy teens behind a dumpster, that's for sure. When one of his sharp fangs nicks your bottom lip, you don't even care. But when a drop of your blood beads out onto his invasive tongue, Lanque draws back just an inch. You taste sharp and dangerous. Like a weapon. Is that a good thing? It's not a bad thing. Lanque pulls back further. His hand slips from your cheek and his fingers trail down your neck to rest on your collar, thumb brushing against the thumb of your pulse. I'm pretty sure he's a rainbow drinker. Have you ever paled before? Oh geez, we're going that far? Okay. Oh wow, hi. You are very attractive. Like, holy crap. Lanque shrugs off his jacket and starts unbuttoning his shirt. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is this really gonna go there? I mean, we did click on our mature content disclaimer, so... You're like, well, no, you've never done any alien intercourse with a bucket, but it doesn't look like he even has one on at the moment. That was apparently the wrong thing to say because Lanque's face scrunches up in displeasure. Don't mock me. It's my first time. Really? You figure laughing would constitute mocking him, so you don't. But the look you give him seems to say enough. Us Jades who live in the cloisters have been chosen for a very special duty. We're expected to adopt a caste and aesthetic life in service to the continuation of our species. And when we undergo our ordeals in our sent-off world, there's no such thing as sneaking out of the caverns. If I don't do this now, when? My life is nearly over. Will you help me feel alive? But before you can answer, Branya's voice starts to rise shrill above the heavy music. Lanque! Lanque's hands shoot out at lightning speed to draw you close. Before you can so much as gasp, he presses one of his palms over your mouth to keep you quiet. Oh shit, she's close. And from the sound of it, she's getting closer. Lanque! I know you're here! You need to come out here and come home right now. Lanque leans in close to your ear. Shh. What will you do? Keep quiet. You want to see where this goes. You keep your mouth shut and wait for Branya to pass. She only shouts for a little while longer before the sound of her voice fades away. There are too many blocks in this hive for her to be trying to break down the door to everyone, and she didn't look too closely at this one. You've lost her. When it becomes clear Branya's gone for good, Lanque lets his hand fall away from your lips. You feel him smile against your ear. Where were we? You turn Lanque's arms and look up into his blazing eyes. How can you alien pale without a bucket? I don't mind doing it without one. Sometimes it can be fun to get a little messy, don't you think? You're like, weren't you just saying this was your first time? Lanque answers you with another kiss. This time he means business. Oh, wow. Well, we actually had sex? Seriously? That's kind of amazing. Whew, you go all the way with a super slutty alien, then you slump out on the ground completely wasted. Maybe this all went kind of off the rails, but you have to admit it would be a real shame if you got through this entire extraterrestrial adventure and never got to smash even a single alien. What'd be the fucking point, honestly? This guy really did a whole number on you. You're lying spread eagled on the floor as Lanque is putting his clothes back on. Man, this is probably your most accomplished friendship to date. You're not quite ready to move just yet, but since you and Lanque are such good chums, now you figures and now it's a good time as any to ask for his chitter. Lanque seems surprised to even hear you speak. Huh? You want to add me on chitter? Yeah, you say, isn't that what friends do? Oh, sorry, I can't. My palm husk is broken right now. Lanque says while typing away furiously on his palm husk. He doesn't even look down at you. You're like, but you're using it right now? Lanque rolls his eyes. I thought you would take the obvious hint. What obvious hint? Lanque huffs. Look, I was trying to be nice, but you just weren't that good, babe. I don't often ring the same bell twice, but if I were going to consider it, you have to show me a better performance than that. Well, I'm asexual. What do you expect? Whoa. Holy shit. That's that, you guess. Your lowest low. Your first time banging an alien and you couldn't even satisfy him. A little seed of worthlessness takes root inside you and germinates so explosively that it fills you up until there's basically nothing left. You die of shame instantly. Shamed to death. Wow. Well, we got a fucking alien, so we can check that off the bucket list. Literally. Let's call his mom. Calling his mom, this has gotten problematic enough. You rip Lanque's hand off your mouth and start calling for Branya. What the fuck, dude? Oh, I like how his little, grub scars are green. That's very... I actually really like that. Green is my favorite color, by the way. Maybe that's why I really like mid-bloods. Lanque tries to scramble away from you to make some sort of last-ditch effort to escape, but it's no use. Branya hears you and comes running, furious. She hulks the locked door off its hinges before you can even get up to let her in. You duck flying chunks of alien architecture and scuttle off to avoid what you fear might be further alien fists. Lanque! As angry as her voice is, some of the fury goes out of her face the moment her gaze lands on Lanque's state of partial undress. She reflexively brings her hands up to shield her eyes. What in the world? Put your clothes back on this instant, young man. Lanque freezes where he stands, apparently accepting that he's been caught. There's nowhere left to run if he doesn't intend to fling himself out a window. A sneer uncoils on his face. Oh please, save the purity act. Like this is anything you haven't already seen a dozen times before. Branya's face goes bright jade. What? What in the world are you implying? I would never! Forget Lanera, you've always been the craziest bitch in the whole cloister. You know you aren't actually our Lucis, right? Oh, did she just punch him? Oh, she slapped him. Branya marches right up to Lanque and slaps him hard across the face. Oh, he's all bruised now. Lanque makes an undignified noise as he recoils from the blow. It looks like that really hurt. His face is stinging bright under the handprint. He forces out a strained laugh. My word, Branya. If you wanted to join us, all you had to do was ask. Damn, you wish I had some popcorn right about now. You just kind of sit back and take it all in. Lanque's invective has its apparent desired effect. Branya's all but steaming at this point, hands balled into fists at her sides. You kind of want to say hi to your friend, but she's a little preoccupied, it seems. I'm not going to rise to your petty baiting. You know you're in the wrong here. 1. We've spoken time and time again about recklessly sneaking out to these parties, and now you're dragging Lanera into your mess. 2. Lanera's told me all about the things you've been saying and doing to her, and it's completely unacceptable, Lanque. 3. You've had more than enough lectures about the way you treat your flesh quadrant partners, and it absolutely needs to stop. 4. You are coming back to the cloisters right now. When we're home, we're going to have one last serious talk about this, and if there aren't changes, there are going to be consequences. Eventually, Branya's overbearing hollering seems to finally break Lanque down. He sighs, shoulders slumped, and rolls his eyes. Fine, fine. Branya crosses her arms indignantly as she waits for Lanque to finish fixing his clothes. Lanque buttons his shirt, puts back on his jacket and his tie, and then he has to go retrieve his palm husk, which he seems to have discreetly slid over to where you're standing. He casually saunters his way over, and instead of picking up his device, snatches yours out of your hand. Hey, I've got to go, but let me give you my chitter information. Maybe we can pick up where we left off later, sweetheart. Branya stomps over to grab Lanque by the ear and drag him away, but not before he's finished putting his chitter contact into your palm husk. He shoves it back into your hand, mouths a "see you later," and is then fully hauled out of the room. Hypocrite. You need to shut your mouth. And then they're gone. Friendship accomplished, you guess? Yay. Chitter mutuals. Cool. Oh, that's our outfit. We actually look pretty good. Okay, okay, I guess now I can talk about the spoiler that I mentioned before, but I know that after you finish, like, the last routes, they ask if you want to understand. This is like, I should do this after I do the next troll too, but the answer is no, I don't want to understand yet. Oh, game over, I don't understand. Okay, okay. We'll worry about that later, but we have one more, bad ending for Lanque that I have to get to, so I'll see you in a second. Oof, you're too scared. Oh man, the sound of that is making you quake in your slutty little boots. Controversial fictional material, you say? Damn, it's almost starting to sound like a woman wrote this. Count you out. Ardata clicks her tongue. She reaches for the cup of markers she keeps on a table next to the door and pulls one out. You flinch as she wields it like a weapon to draw a big blue X on the back of your hand. Here. Now all my fine guests will know we've a delicate little angel in our hands. Then she turns to Lanera. And what about you, my sweet thing? Huh? Oh, I'm not real, so it's cool. Very well, then. Welcome to the bash. Drinks are free, but if you die of poisoning, you're contractually obligated to croak in range of one of my cameras. So you put the poison you bought a couple routes ago into the drinks. Good, thanks. Toodaloo. Ardata blows you a toxic kiss and saunters off to mingle with her enthusiastic guests. Okay, this is new, sorry. You and Lanera step past the threshold and have a look around. Lanera is visibly nervous, which is unfortunately a little bit infectious. You ask her where her friend is. She glances about a bit. Oh, I don't know, he's... Oh, over there! You follow her gaze into the living area of the house. It's a far cry from the side outside. The music's not nearly so bumping as you originally thought it was. Okay, everybody's a bit more chilled out this time. Hi, Diamond. The whole shebang seems to have a pretty chill teenagers drinking Kool-Aid vibe, apart from the fact that's definitely not Kool-Aid. Everybody's milling about, chatting amiably. You spot a few familiar faces. Diamond flirting with roasting his Frank in the hearth. Elward leaned casually against the doorframe to the kitchen, talking to a cute girl. I thought that was her. Or is that her, or is that someone else? I don't remember what her horns look like, actually. No, it's not her, I don't think. Or is it? I don't know. Never mind. Just ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Skyla recounting some enrapturing rodeo caper to a group of gathered trolls. Oh, that's Skyla. Hi. It's a real diverse roster of friendly folk. You spot who Lanera is pointing to at the center of the parlor's arrangement of couches and armchairs, sat among a group of friends on the floor, the only other Jade blood in the room. He's even more impeccably dressed and done up than the rest of the markedly fashion-forward Jades you've met. When you catch a sight of Lanera, his face lights up and he rises to make his way over and greet you. Oh, this is weird. This is the PG version of Lanque, I guess. Oh, Lanera, you've made it after all. I was starting to think you weren't going to come. I'm uncomfortable now. Haha, well, surprise! I did it! Not come, I mean. I did come. Hi, I'm here. Lol. You cringe, but Lanque seems otherwise unaffected by Lanera's astonishingly embarrassing display. He turns to you with a warm smile. And who's this? You can't help but get a little flustered when your eyes meet. His makeup and stylings might lead to the severe and feminine, but he has a contrastingly calm and masculine voice that, puts you at ease straight away. He seems to have quite the opposite effect on Lanera. Before you can answer yourself, she starts blabbering a mile a minute. Oh, this is my friend. I divided them. They're an alien, and I guess I almost murdered them because I was jealous of their friendship with Branya, lol. But I didn't, and we're friends now, and I'm starting to work past my self-destructive obsession with her, and they agreed to come with me because I'm socially anxious and afraid of you, lol. Oh, that's awfully nice of them. Hold on, sorry. I know that was a lot at once. Let me reorganize that statement to a clear, digestible list of bullet points. You've absolutely no need to do that, Lanera. I've understood your points just fine. Oh, okay. Lanque looks back at you. Thank you for helping Lanera feel more comfortable here. Why don't you come and sit with us? Lanque turns and gestures to the other trolls he was speaking with before, a teal blood boy and an indigo blood girl, neither of whom you recognize. They both have notebooks in their laps. They give you friendly waves. Okay, sounds great. What are we doing? We were just in the middle of a poetry reading. I don't know if you prepared anything of your own to share, but you might find it relaxing just to listen. Poetry? Lanera's face has gone bright green. Oh boy. Why would you think I've ever written any poetry? I don't really. It was merely a suggestion. Have you? Well, maybe. Wait, no. You put a comforting hand on Lanera's shoulder, intuiting immediately that she has indeed written plenty of poetry, but is embarrassed by the prospect of sharing any of it. You remind her that she's among trusted friends here and has nothing to fear. Oh, I guess you're right. Well then. Well then. Please come and join us. I don't like this version of Lanque. The other one was a jerk, but this one feels super fake. Lanque leads you back to his group, inviting you to sit down with them in a circle. Lanque goes to deliberate lengths to insert herself in between you and Lanque. And to insert you between herself and Lanque, sorry, so that you're the one sitting next to him. Why don't we pick up where we left off? I was just about to read my latest piece. You say that sounds great. Lanque's two friends close their eyes and take each other's hands. You and Lanque are both plenty surprised when Lanque and the indigo blood sitting next to Lanque try to take yours to close the circle. At your obviously shocked expression, Lanque explains, we find physical contact helps us feel closer on a spiritual level during our poetry sessions. But if you aren't comfortable with it, you're under no obligation. You feel really respected right now, so you and Lanque both assent to join the circle. She even takes the initiative to hold your hand first. So this is basically the super PC route, I guess. Lanque reaches out and takes your fingers gently into his. You don't know what it is, but you can't help yourself from blushing shyly. His hand is soft and warm in yours, short red nails immaculately manicured. Then let me begin. This is a short poem I've written in free verse based on something haunting me as of late. Reflecting back on one of my most complicated and passionate past relationships. Forgive me, this might be a bit raw. It is, as of yet, untitled. Lanque draws a deep breath and closes his eyes. His notebook is open in his lap. You can see the poem written there in an elegant hand, but he doesn't need to look at it to recite the words. What is the meaning of a memory? A question I oft ponder. Intangible and untraceable by anything but the mind, yet so potent as to leave one sick, as if poisoned or wounded in a literal sense. And what meaning is there in regret and longing? Can my lamentations change the past? Will they move the future? Shall they amount to much more than what unmoors my here and now? If I restrict my world to that which is but before my eyes, to those whom I may touch, to that which I might alter, one would no doubt conclude that thoughts of you are last among what I would consider to matter. And yet you haunt me yet. And still you haunt me yet, like a scar, like a disease uneager to abate. Who are you, and who am I after so long without you? I know, I don't know, I won't know. What do I know but what I know, and what can it even mean to know? No, no, no! Ah, though it so vexes me, though so little I valued it when it was before me. A thing and a you I could touch and see and know and hate and wonder, revile/worship. Now it and you are a traceless ghost, and I preoccupy myself with nothing but futile tasks of redefinition and reinterpretation, and circuitous dwellings on that which I understand even less now. That in times when my wonderings might have been so easily answered with a question or a bite or a kiss, or even a single word spoken honestly. Pressed though I am to give color to our bond, I look not to onyx nor ash, but that which pulses within our very veins, that so blinding jade, hard as the stone for which it is named. Twisted and pulled, hammered and forged, shaped unnaturally as if a chain. A structure within structures, a certain so meaningful tincture. Resent you though I must, envy you though I may. Now leagues and leagues stretch between us, and I make peace with naught but what I say. You are only that which is within me, my blood and my mind, and that is at once nothing, and the most elementary definition of everything. Wow. You realize you are holding your breath when Lanque finally finishes. The circle falls into meaningful silence, taut as a wire. The tension breaks when his eyes flutter open, tears spilling over his long lashes. You squeeze Lanque's hand gently. He weeps silently and beautifully. Such powerful art. He musters a wan smile as he gazes across the circle at Lanque. Lanque, would you like to read next? Lanque looks stunned. There's moisture gathering in the corner of his over eyes. Of course, anyone would be moved by something so emotional and raw. I guess I have a poem I could read. Lanque takes out her planner and opens it, breaking the circle of held hands. She can't recite it from memory like Lanque. When she speaks, her voice is small and timid. This one's called Still. Oh, this one's called Still, sorry. I'm still. I sit still. I do what I'm told still. I wonder about the way that I am and I think, still? I see her every day and I still miss her. She hugs me and I still feel cold. I'm surrounded by people and I'm still alone. I'm still me. I still love her, and I still hate that. Wow, you're really proud of Lanque for opening up like this. She's crying too now. You reach out to take her hand back in yours. The indigo blood beside her comfortingly strokes her shoulder. Sorry. It's not really good and long like yours, Lanque. I'm not really a poet or anything. I just wrote down how I feel. Lanque, it's fine. I thought it was beautiful. Poetry is about expressing yourself. It's not important to be any set length or sound any certain way. All that matters is that you've spoken your blood pusher. And I think you've accomplished that remarkably. We're all very proud of you. You find yourself drawn to a group hug by Lanque and the other trolls. Lanque is sobbing openly now, and her raw emotion seems to have inspired similar pathos in the others. Before you know it, you feel yourself tearing up too. It feels good to get it all out, but before long it's becoming clear that Lanque is kind of reaching her limit. She pulls back and sniffles out something about wanting to go home. Of course, Lanque, if that's what you need. I'll talk to you back at the cloister. Okay. See to it that she gets back safe, will you? You tell Lanque that of course you will, and take Lanque carefully by the hand to lead her out of the party. She squeezes your fingers back to let you know that she appreciates you. You walk back from the party in a comfortable silence for a while. When you glance over at her face, it occurs to you that you've never seen Lanque this happy. Of course, this is literally the second time you've ever seen her, so you guess you don't actually have much frame of reference for what her normal emotional state actually is. You really want to encourage her on this path of recovery she's going down and all, so you ask her about, her and Lanque. What? Her and Lanque? What? We're just friends. I mean, it's not like I have a crush on him or anything. I know I've had romantic feelings for a girl before, so it'd be really problematic if I liked a boy now. Oh, you say, you're sorry, you didn't know. Hey, whoever wrote this, that's not how it works? I get that you're making the point that people say stuff like that, but yeah. It's okay, just don't let it happen again. Oh man, I just realized this is basically Candyverse. This is a lot like Candyverse. I understand now. That's why I'm so uncomfortable. Lanque gives you a warm smile and reaches out to pull you into a hug. Thank you for helping me. I was really nervous, and I think if it hadn't been for your help, I wouldn't have been able to come at all. But I did, so thanks. It wasn't perfect, but I think I really opened up tonight. I'll see Lanque again. And you, I hope. And in the future, things will be easier. Right? You're certain they will. You put a comforting arm around her shoulders and walk her the rest of the way home. You feel like this night really taught you an important lesson. Not everything is about collecting the largest quantity of friends as is humanly possible. Sometimes strengthening your bond with someone you already know can be just as rewarding. So screw you, you say, to the concept of good innings and bad innings and narrative railroading. This route makes you feel heckin' valid, and that's fine by you. Valid! Alright then. Do you want to understand? No, not yet. Yeah, game over again. We'll want to understand after the end. Why is Lanque before the other trolls? I don't understand that. Valid, you shared poetry, you saw a softer side. Thanks for the memories, you took what you could get. Alright. Okay. Obviously there's two very different Lanques here. The soft poetry Lanque makes me uncomfortable. I don't know how I feel about him. And jerk Lanque, he's a jerk. I mean, there's no denying that. But I do get how he wants to. Like, apparently, when Jade-Bloods go off-planet, they basically become nuns, it seems like. So I can understand how he'd want... Well, I can't really understand because, like I said, I'm asexual, but I can intellectually understand that a person would maybe want to be able to experience sexual interaction with another person while they still can. I'm not really... Yeah, but I'm doing my best here. Yeah, that was an interesting route. And we'll get to the whole understanding thing in a bit after all this. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!